I said, Lord, when it's reception is okay.
The reception ain't no good.
I'm saying, Lord, when the spot we in is okay.
Shit's not bad. I don't even see what you say.
It's on hot spot, so it's not gonna say like how many boys you got. It's gonna make sure it's on. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
This is a test.
How did you do that? Cause I didn't even do that on mine.
I just go on my page and then see the live video on there. It's on live right now.
Hold on, man. So when I had one that did mine, you said I couldn't wait. I had to wait for a whole day. What the level?
Oh, to like your other phone when you had your other account?
No. When I was doing my live, I said I just did it. I tried to look at it and I couldn't look at it.
Oh, because on the live videos when it posts on YouTube, you don't look.
How could you see your phone? You ain't went on.
Because I'm live right now, but after the post, like I'll show you. After the post, it's not gonna let me click on there and watch the video.
Okay, so when you did the live, you mic check. I could have did that, but when I tried to do that, I didn't see nothing on my phone.
On your page? Did you close it out and refresh it?
I don't know.
You probably have to refresh it. Because I just closed it out. Like if I was already on YouTube and I just did live, it wasn't gonna pop up unless I closed it out and pulled my page back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
All
right, now we can start. You said the east this way?
Yeah, we eat right.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
We want to begin a lesson, the camp lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another lesson through the spirit, man. It's been a minute since I have been on live for camp for my page because I've been going to the GMS St. Louis camp, but we were out of town this past weekend, like I mentioned in my previous lesson. So we're doing our camp lesson for this week today. So today's topic, man, we're really just gonna be going through the spirit, hitting on some topics that's been going on in the news and whatnot, and then also we got a few topics that we want to hit on a little bit. We're gonna pull out these precepts to the best of our ability through the spirit, Lord willing. And Lord willing to be edifying to those out there listening and watching. So without further ado, man, and then also coming up probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll be back out here on our regular schedule, on our regular spot that we usually do camp. There's an event going on there.
So event going on over there.
Yeah, so we have to move locations, but we'll be back out there along with the other brother Shaquat. You know how us three will do camp together, so we'll be back out there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, man. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on in the news, man. So much, like I feel like
it's all prophetic.
I feel like I could literally, like this past week, I feel like I could have did at least like 3-4 lessons a day, 2 to 3 lessons a day. That's how much stuff is going on, man. Like I said, it was a lesson I did the other day that was talking about some of the like the bombs and stuff like that, and the warships that the United States was sending over in the overseas and whatnot. And then there was also topics talking about the Golden Dome, right? And that's also prophetic as well, man. You know, Esau talking about building up in the heaven and building their way up in the heaven, which is spoken of in Amos chapter 9. And then also them having a war in heaven with the Lord's angels is spoken of in what, 2nd Ezra 13?
Yeah.
And then also Revelation chapter 12. So all of these things,
Revelation 20.
So all of these things that are going on in the world, man, it's in the scriptures, man. And there's no denying it at this point.
Yeah.
It lines up perfectly, right? If you're denying these things, then at that point you just don't believe in the Lord. That's all you can say. You don't believe in the Lord. You don't believe in the Bible, man. But yet our people will still say that they believe in the Lord or they love the Lord and whatnot. But yet you're not paying attention to these signs in the news, in the world, what's going on, the state of the economy. And then you all are also going along with this stuff as if this world that we're in right now is going to continue on as it is. right? If you look into history and whatnot, all of the kingdoms of past were in the same situation that we're in right now, or even worse. But this is the worst, you know what I'm saying, situation. Babylon the Great, because it's going to be the fall of the last kingdom that the Edomites have, and they'll never come into rulership again. But all of those kingdoms, man, the people in those kingdoms, they always thought that everything was going to continue on as it was forever, but it never ended. It never lasted, man.
That was my main thought when you first get into truth, or before I even got into truth. I used to think, that's in history class, what was going on? What was the thought of the common people? What was in their mind when destruction was coming their way? Now you got to exclude the elite and the rich, right? Exclude the elite and the rich, because they got means of escape. But what do the common people go through when destruction comes to their city? When your town get overtook by another person? When you get occupied by somebody, by a whole foreign country? Y'all don't consider that. And just because, I'm gonna go ahead and get this because of what you said, our people still going around as if nothing going on in this world. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Yep.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, will I change their glory into shame. I'm gonna drop down and keep going to verse 8. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And that shall be like people, and that shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. That's Hosea 4:6. During the time of Hosea, the Lord officially, he turned his back on us a lot because of our transgressions and breaking the covenant. But during the time of Hosea is when he said, you are no longer my people, right? He told Hosea to go sleep with the prostitute. They had the son and he had the daughter, right? Roughly, just doing a synopsis, right? Because our people, like in the times of Noah, still living in mirth and folly.
Hey, what does it say in Matthew 24, man? And around the 30s, they were still. Let me get it real quick, and I'm gonna come back to my precept that I had previously. Just to hit on the brother, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, we just warning. We doing our job, man. Warning the hopeful elect of Israel, warning 2/3 of Israel to repent. And we telling these other nations what they got coming for them, the heathen nations, especially our enemies, Esau, Edom. But let me get this right quick. To let you know. Okay, go ahead.
While he's getting that precept, I want to get this to back him. This is Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and verse 37. We can get verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only, right? So it speaks of in the scriptures, man, that the day that the Lord Yahweh shall return is going to be as the day like a thief in the night, man. Meaning no one knows when he's going to return. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard, right? Except for the hopeful elect, man, right? The Lord's going to make sure that they're in the spirit to know when Yahweh shall actually return, going down. Like, that's going to catch a lot of our people off guard because, like we've been saying, man, these people are living their day-to-day life. Everything is normal right now. But then when shit hits the fan or things go south, then these people are going to be going around scrambling and stuff. But we've been warning you all for years, months and years about these calamities, about these things that are about to come upon the earth. But you all, you know what I'm saying, neglected to listen. The Lord closed your ears. He put a spiritual veil over your eyes for you to not see. For it says, but as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were living their normal day-to-day lives, and just like that, things switched up. it was instantaneous to them. It happened just like that to them. But to those that believe, they've been preparing for this for years. So it wasn't a surprise to them.
Yeah,
That's
Noah,
the thing.
Yeah, Noah preached to them for what, 120 years, 140 years about the flood?
That's a whole 120 years of grace that the Lord had on his people, man. So you can't sit up here and say, oh, the Lord is merciless. He doesn't have any mercy on his people.
He long-suffering. Why do you think he's long-suffering? He's giving you time to repent. You don't want to do it.
Exactly.
But you know, we got people, you got to realize this, right? We've been through captivity after captivity after captivity. Just like you read in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. It's a time for everything, right? So you look at man as a whole. Look at it. We came up out of Egypt. When we came out of Egypt, it didn't take long for people to get their fate judged from the Lord. Because they had people that rebel. I'm going to get that. But let me get you right quick. Amos 5:18, what you just said, because the Lord come in like a thief in the night, right? Woe, Amos 5:18. Woe unto the day, unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion in a bare meadow, or went into the house and leaned his hand on a wall and a serpent bit him. The Most High Power, the Almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is the Lord of hosts, which means the Lord of armies. Now let me get this right quick. Because if you're not paying attention to the times, as the brother said, and taking heed to what the men of the Lord are saying, it's going to be to your detriment. Let me get this out of Exodus.
And like you were saying, man, you're going to be fleeing from a bear and come across a lion, man.
That's coming into Jacob's trouble, man. It's finna get ugly, I heard.
I just did a lesson on this last night. Jacob is literally going to be being hunted by these people, man. And you're going to see how these Edomites really feel about you, how these so-called white people really feel about you. You all want to be buddy-buddy with them and whatnot, close friends with them, as if they weren't just trying to delete you all less than 200 years ago.
During the time, matter of fact,
slavery wasn't that long ago.
I'm
it was
52.
only 6 generations ago, if that.
Yeah, I'm 52. During my mother's time, when she was young, was doing the civil, what they call it, the civil rights. Yeah, they was getting persecuted then. But let's get some examples of how the behavior of man went and how the Lord judged. Because right now, we're in the end times. This some of our last time on earth until the kingdom.
It's not going to happen in our lifetime.
Right.
If you can't see that, then ultimately the spirit is not with you. It's not dealing with you.
And I'm going to read this in the NLT too. Right? Let's go to Exodus 32. The topic is the gold calf. When we came out of Egypt, the Lord told Moses, come up to the mountain, I'm going to give you laws, statutes, commandments to get to the people. He went up there with him, gone 40 days. After what he had just did, our people got selective memory. He had just delivered us out of the hands of our enemy with a marvelous delivery, right? Split the Red Sea, split the sea, killed all the people from Egypt in it, put the plagues on them. We're in the forest, not even 40 days, they done already turned. Let me get this. Exodus 32:7. Yahweh told Moses, quick, go down the mountain. Your people, whom you brought from the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. How quickly they have turned away from the way I commanded them to live. They have melted down gold and made a calf, and they have bowed down and sacrificed to it. They are saying, these are your gods, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Then Yahweh said, I've seen how stubborn and rebellious these people are. Right? Now he was finna get rid of us. He said, now leave me alone so my fierce anger can blaze against them, and I will destroy them. Then I will make you, Moses, into a great nation. But you know, Moses played with him. Say, don't do that, Lord. Then the people of Egypt gonna be like, you brought them out there just to kill them. Yeah. So the Lord say, so you know, he went back. Let me scroll up some more. Let me go down some more. Let me get to the point. Right? So now, you know, the people, when Moses went up to go talk to the Lord, the people told Aaron they wanted to worship that golden calf, right? So when Aaron, when Moses came back down and was mad, I'll just read it. Let me drop down to 19. Exodus 32 and 19. When they came to the camp, Moses saw the calf and the dancing, and he burned with anger. He threw the stone tablets to the ground, smashing them at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf they had made and burned it. Then he ground it into powder, threw it into the water, and forced the people to drink it. Finally, he turned to Aaron and demanded, "What did these people do to you to make you bring such terrible sin upon them?" Because that's a violation from the Lord. We're not supposed to worship nobody else but the Lord.
That's why we're in the conditions right now under the curses, because we committed spiritual adultery and worship false idols, man.
Yeah, so verse 22. "Don't get so upset, my Lord," Aaron replied. "You know yourself how evil these people are." That's 2/3. Y'all love wickedness, right? You love being wicked.
He didn't see any problem with it. That's why he let it happen.
Yeah, they said to me, "Make us gods who will lead us." We don't know what happened to this fellow Moses. See, they call him fellow like they forgot about. Who brought us here from the land of Egypt. So he told them what to do, right? Moses saw, drop down 25. Moses saw that Aaron had let the people get completely out of control, much to the amusement of their enemies. So when that happened, it was our enemies were still sneaking around watching us break the covenant with the Lord right there. Right? Let me jump down 27. Oh, hold on. Let's go to the point. I'm gonna do 26 first to let you know how the Lord marked people in the scriptures through time for either mercy, for salvation, or you condemn to death. Right? So he stood at the entrance of the camp and shouted, "All of you," verse 26, Exodus 32 and 26, this is Moses talking. "So he stood at the entrance of the camp and shouted, 'All of you who are on Yahweh's side, come here and join me.' And all the Levites gathered around him." Right? Moses told them, "This is what Yahweh, the Most High Power of Israel, says. Each of you take your swords and go back and forth from one end of the camp to the other. Kill everyone, even your brothers, friends, and neighbors." The Levites obeyed Moses' command, and about 3,000 people died that day. Then Moses told the Levites, here go the point, "Today you have ordained yourselves for the service of Yahweh, for you obeyed him even though it meant killing your own sons and brothers. Today you have earned a blessing." Those men who did that, the Levites, that chose to go on the Lord's side, they back now on earth. They're part of the elect. The 3,000 that died, they part of the 2/3. You know how we know that? Because we go to the end of this chapter, and Moses said, I started at 31. So Moses returned to Yahweh and said, "Oh, what a terrible sin these people have committed. They have made gods of gold for themselves. But now, if you will only forgive their sin, but if not, erase my name from the record you have written." Here go the point. But, verse 33, "But Yahweh replied to Moses, 'No, I will erase the name of everyone who has sinned against me.'" Right? "Now go lead the people to the place I told you about. Look, my angel will lead the way before you, and when I come to call the people to account, I will certainly hold them responsible for their sins." So that 3,000, you can lump their ass in with that 2/3. So every time they came on earth, they was given a reprobate mind. They ain't want to listen.
I want to add on to that point that you just said. Can you read the last precept you just read? The last
34?
Yeah.
"Now go, lead the people to the place I told you about. Look, my angel will lead the way before you. And when I come to call the people to account, I will certainly hold them responsible for their sins."
And that's the thing, man. Our people, I'm about to get this precept, man. They do things and they go about life not considering what can happen to them, right? The Lord says through Solomon, he says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, man, that every man is going to be held responsible, right, for their works.
Good or bad.
Yeah, every little thing is going to be brought out in the day of judgment, man. So I want to get this real quick. Psalm 10 and 4, the wicked through the pride of his kindness will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. They don't consider the Lord. They don't consider that if I do this, what could be the consequences of it. They don't think of that at all, right?
And it's always been this way. You just said, we came out of Egypt, right? Came out of Egypt. The Lord performed all kind of miracles. Set a chariot in the sky to guide us by day and night. Put plagues on the Egyptians. Split the sea. Dried the ground for us to walk through. Did that, provided bread,
I was about to say,
quail,
food and water.
What these niggas do? Shit, man. Hey, man. We don't know what happened to him. What could he have went? He couldn't have been too far. We don't know what happened to him. They was already ready to rebel. That's why the Lord said they are stiff-necked people. That's why when you read Deuteronomy 32, he said, I'm going to see what they ain't going to be.
And Baruch, yeah.
Yeah, Baruch. Let's see.
I want to get this real quick. I'm about to get this up. Psalm the 49th chapter.
Oh, because he would say, yeah, listen to my head angel. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 49 and 11. And this just goes to everybody, man. Really. Edomites, Jake, whatever. This is really talking about Esau, Edom, though. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly. Yet their posterity approve their saying. Salah, right? So the Lord is basically saying, man, that these people think that the things that are going on now, you know what I'm saying, their kingdom is gonna go on and rule forever and whatnot. He's literally calling them fools for thinking that way. He's saying that they're foolish because ultimately, man, nothing lasts forever. As far as on this earth, man, as far as that goes, I'm not talking about the kingdom of heaven because we know, of course, the kingdom, we're going to be abiding there forever and ever and ever. And there's nobody's going to uproot us, man. It speaks on that in the scriptures. But when it comes to Esau, Edom, and their kingdom, man, none of this stuff that they have lasts forever. I was just thinking about this.
It was in the scriptures, though. They said they should sit as a queen. They should never they should never be a widow. They don't think nothing bad gonna happen to them. Just ain't nobody take them out the power seat but the Almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
And that's just the pride of Esau, Edom, man. I want to get this.
What did you just read? What?
Psalm 49 and 11.
Psalms 49 and 11.
Obadiah 1, and let me get this. Okay. And verse 3, the pride of thine heart, and this is, and the heading for this is Edom will be humble. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, man. The troglodytes, right? The cave dwellers, that's Esau, Edom. The Caucasians, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's the spirit that these Edomites have, man. The Lord have instilled in them a great sense of pride. You can even hear that when Donald Trump or even other Edomites speak, man. Donald Trump has a extreme amount of pride. He thinks he's literally the greatest ruler on the earth right now because he rules the most wicked kingdom. Yeah. And there's this verse 4, to my point, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right, which is the main animal that America represents itself with, is the eagle.
The mascot.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So the Lord is going to humble them in that day. And I was thinking about this when we were on the road last week, man. I said to myself, I was like, think about this. Esau, Edom has spent decades building all of this stuff, building up their kingdom, decades. And it's only going to take Yahushua an hour or even less than that to destroy all of this. Do you understand how humbling that's going to be? Then on top of that, our people still not going to consider.
Yeah, they ain't going to repent, man. They don't get down. But I don't think people realize this. Like you said, the inward thought is their houses shall continue forever. The dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their names. They think, just like the what they call the YNs now, young niggas, the demon time niggas, they think that they gonna be able to outsmart the most high power of Israel.
And then on top of
the creator. Right? What you don't realize is, what the other nations knew back in the day is the most high power of Israel, he also known as the king of terrors. What do you think Almighty most high power mean? Almighty mean out of sight, demon-like terror. So you telling me, as an Edomite, because it's programmed, he programmed him to be like this, so that his glory can be shown. Because just like he built up, it was at Romans 9, just like he built up Pharaoh, he building up these Edomites.
And harden his heart.
And like you just said, they spent all these years building this kingdom up, and in 1 hour, the Lord gonna destroy it.
They're gonna try and rebuild it, and they're not gonna be able to rebuild it, man.
And what you can't never consider is this: how you gonna outsmart the Creator? How you gonna do that? Right? You think of all the technology that Esau have come up with. Who made the elements and resources for Esau to use to make whatever they made? The Creator. Right? Matter of fact, let me get something. I'm trying to think of it.
I'm gonna get this real quick while you
Oh.
I'll go ahead.
Shall I?
This is 2nd Esdras 9 and 10, right?
Read Ezekiel 38 too, because what's called, like I was saying, Russia just warned Iran that them Israelis planning on striking them. So that's 38 and 7 in effect. Be thou guard to them. But let me find.
Russia warned America about something else too. I can't
No,
remember.
they warned Iran. They
Oh
been a
yeah,
guard
they
to
warned
Persia.
America about doing something to Iran. Yeah.
Yeah, they warned Iran though that them Israelis gonna do something.
Yeah, this is 2nd Esdras 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, man. And this is talking about, right, in the scriptures it says that you're supposed to use the world but not abuse the world. Our people abuse the world. They abuse the things of this world, man. And they that loathe my law, meaning hated it. They hated the law. While they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, man. So we're out here telling people, you're Israelite, repent, turn to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, get right with the Lord, take heed. Because we don't have much time left. There's no telling how long this grace period is going to continue on, man.
Grace period is closed.
Yeah.
You can see right now, we almost in World War III. Because if y'all don't realize, like I just said, they doing updates in Western Asia, which is the Middle East, right now.
Shoot,
They just tried it. Russia is finna go to war with NATO and Ukraine.
BRICS.
They just tried to kill Vladimir Putin last weekend.
Yeah, it's starting
It's
to
finna be the
escalate, man.
BRICS against the Western allied countries. Everything already set up. And Putin already said, after that event, we finna mirror everything y'all do. At first, they were just mirroring the military. They were supplying all the enemies of America with weapons. But now they finna do everything that America do. From the economic sanctions to outright killing. Let me get this dope.
And the elder apostles have already said that they believe through the Spirit that the elect is already sealed. Let me finish this real quick, and then you got it. So they had a place of repentance, but they despised it, man. That's talking about our people, because they so damn rebellious and stiff-necked. The same must know it after death by pain. So the Lord is literally gonna have to go out and touch people physically, bring forth. You see that? You can like that just throw by. The Lord is literally gonna have to bring forth strict judgment upon people and show them His true power, man.
They still don't get it.
Exactly, you got it.
Now,
That Isaiah 1 and 5.
now let me get this out of Job. Let me just read it. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. This for the demon time, so-called demon time niggas with a switch. Those switch ain't shit against the Lord, the King of Terrors.
Or even Esau Edom.
Even Esau Edom. And Esau Edom ain't nothing against the King of Terrors.
Not at all.
Whatever you think you're gonna come up with, because I'm finna read it right here, right? Here go the point. I'm reading it, Job 12 and 16 in the NLT. Yes, strength and wisdom are His, the Almighty Yahweh, right? Deceivers and deceived are both in His power. So the deceiver, Esau Edom, they programmed by the Lord. The deceived, the wicked of our nation, they programmed by the Lord, right? He leads counselors away, stripped of good judgment. Wise judges become fools. He removes the royal robe of kings. They are led away with ropes around their waist. It's coming for you, Esau. You're gonna be in fetters and chains.
Just look at how
Did the same thing in our nation. He leads priests away, stripped of status. He overthrows those who with long years of power. He silences the trusted advisor and removes the insight of the elders. He pours disgrace upon princes and disarms the strong. He uncovers mysteries hidden in darkness. He brings light into the deepest gloom, he going to point for you Esau, right? He builds up nations and he destroys them. He expands nations and he abandons them. He strips kings of understanding and leaves them wandering in a pathless wasteland. They grope in darkness without a light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. And let me go back up right quick. But true wisdom and power are found in the Most High power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he destroys cannot be rebuilt. When he puts someone in prison, there is no escape. If he holds back the rain, the earth becomes a desert. If he releases the waters, they flood the earth. So all these things are controlled by the Lord. Who put that thought in your head that you was going to keep your kingdom forever? Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 7:13, what he just said, man. Consider the work of the Most High Power, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked. Right?
Habakkuk 2nd chapter 2. He made Esau crooked. But when you get to with the average Christian, the only other nation they be trying to save, other than the blacks, is the white man. They out. What you mean Edomites can't get in the kingdom of heaven? Y'all ain't worried about the Moabites and the Ammonites. I mean the Chinese and the Japanese, or even the African.
Stockholm syndrome.
You hear me? The Indian. Now y'all only worried about the white man, the one who oppressed you the most, right? So when you go through each time, our people was in captivity. So we got Egyptian captivity. Then we was under captivity briefly by the Moabites and the Ammonites, right? Each time is because somebody went off. Them people that didn't repent, guess what? They back a part of the 2/3 now. And just like the priest I read in the book of Exodus, when the other ones wanted to worship that golden calf, and they went out and listened and obeyed Moses' commandment and went out and slew the men, brothers, they didn't give a fuck if they say brother, mother, sister, they feared the Lord. So they did what the Lord commanded them to do, right?
And even then, that was righteous judgment.
Yeah, righteous judgment. But then, that righteous act that them priests did, that was counted for mercy for them, a blessing for them. Just like Phinehas, when he went and threw that javelin through them boys that was doing that abominable act. When he was doing that abominable act with that woman, that counted, that preserved him for his regenerations, right? Like Steve, like the woman that was getting tortured during the Greco-Roman Empire, the Greeks, when the Greeks took over. Tortured her 7 sons, and they stood true to the Lord because they feared the Most High power. They back on earth now.
Exactly. Fear not the man that can do, you know what I'm saying? Fear not the man that can punish the body, but fear the one that can punish the body and the soul, man. Because ultimately, I'd rather take torture from the flesh, from you know what I'm saying, in a carnal aspect versus being tortured spiritually, man. Because you don't want to be in the Lord's trick bag, as the brothers say, man.
Yeah.
It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's Hebrews 10:31. I did want to say this though, from the precept that you were just reading. All you got to do is go to Daniel the 5th chapter, where it speaks on how the Lord cursed or plagued Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
And then he also
had his ass eating grass.
Exactly, and then even his son Belshazzar didn't even consider.
And what he do to the righteous man, Zechariah in Luke? John the Baptist's daddy, he made his tongue cleave to the roof of his mouth. Yeah, man, that's why these people, man, I don't get it, man. Especially us.
Y'all,
our people, man, the Israelites. You honor wickedness. You treat evil for good and good for evil. Y'all up here. Because, man, I'm kind of hot right now. I don't want to use no foul language, rude speak. Them little demon time cats.
Yeah, that's all my
all
generation,
I need is a switch. All I need is a switch. I'm killing everybody. Just go out your emotions, because you probably was raised by your mama.
That's how
you're going to meet the king of terrors. I'm going to see if you're going to whoop him. You think you got to switch, Lord hit your ass with a stroke. You can't lift shit up, then what you going to do then?
Put you in a wheelchair.
Cleave your tongue to the roof of your mouth. What you going to do then? You can't talk. Hit you with any kind of disease that ain't wrote in the book. Yeah. This was the time we in. We finna find out.
You wanted me to get Ezekiel 38.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want me to get out of that?
You can read, you can start at You can start at 2.
All right, this is Ezekiel 38 and verse 2. And the heading is prophecy about Gog and future invasion of Israel. And Gog is Russia, modern day Russia.
Yeah.
Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
The Lord right now turning back them Russians to that World War I, World War II spirit. They realizing now, and they know now, that the NATO and America use the Ukrainians as a proxy to go to war with them. But they playing it cool. They ain't reacting. They ain't overreacting. They let things happen. They took the sanctions on, adjusted their economy. They with the BRICS nations, right? So last year, before Biden left the office, right, he gave Ukraine the go-ahead to use the attackers to strike deep into Russia.
Yeah.
That's when the Russians said.
And the UK as well.
Yeah, the UK, France, and not Germany is the ones who just got on board with that. They made a statement earlier this week as if they was gonna let the Ukrainians use their Taurus missile that's able to hold a warhead on it, a nuclear warhead on it. They thought that they were saying, okay, we're gonna start letting y'all use our long-range missiles to attack deep into Russia. But what they was actually saying is, we just in agreement with the rest of the nations, America, France, or whoever, Great Britain, on using their long-range missiles to attack them, the Scout and the Storm, some shit like that, Storm Shadow, right? Russia immediately told Germany, if y'all use any long-range weapons, we throwing that Oryshkin on y'all. Soon as they said Oryshkin, Germany, I don't know, wait a minute. Yeah.
And then you have to realize, man, Germany has been going through economic collapse for the past few years.
At the hands of who, though? Who started that for them? America. When they blew up that pipeline.
And then
the Nord Stream.
Yeah, and in addition to that, that's all. What was that, over oil, right?
Yeah, no, that was because
gas.
That was gas, but that's their gas they was getting. Just like you really should have read it, Obadiah. Hey, is there no more wisdom in team? Every time they make a play, thinking they doing something, they thought they was gonna cut off the Russian economy, but what it did was bolster the Russian economy and weaken the economy of the other nations. Yeah. Weaken Germany's economy, America's economy weak already. France weak, Britain weak.
Doing a good job of keeping it.
Yeah, it's a facade. Yeah, it's a facade. They got them boys
as if they got everything under control.
Like a big piece of cardboard held up, thinking like, hey, this is what we seeing. This building right here. This a nice building behind us. That's a piece of cardboard, nigga. That ain't no building. It's fake, right? And now all the other nations are watching what's going on.
Oh yeah, I want to say this, Salaki. I almost forgot. And then you have to account for this as well, man. The United States of America, their missile technology is 30 to 40 years behind the rest of these countries.
Weaker.
30 to 40 years behind. They haven't used that stuff since like the 80s. While you have other countries such as China, Russia, and whatnot, North Korea, all of their missiles are up to date.
Yeah, they look
high tech.
See, that main weapon that America used, which is going to be to their detriment, that little snare, is that sanctions they put on people. They put sanctions on people, which led other nations to be more aware, especially Russia. They start working on their technology. So with the Oryshnik missile, they don't even got to use no nuclear weapon. That Oryshnik will fuck you up. America, like you said, they don't got no kind of technology. You can tell that the military equipment that they using over there is them Israelis use to what they got what's the name of the thing you say they? No, the dome that they trying to get.
The Golden Dome, is that?
The Golden Dome is for America, right? But the other one is the Iron Dome.
For Israel.
That motherfucker don't work. And then they got some more shit that what is it? The THAAD system, that don't work.
And then on top of that, man, I'm glad you brought that up because I was just about to say something about that. America, this amount of years has never had no type of aerial defense over it. Why? Because it's a virgin Babylon. They never expected no type of bombs or war to pop off over here until it actually does happen. They're just now starting to try and get some type of aerial defense over this country.
Now, we still don't. Look at the country as a whole. Ain't nobody tripping. We looking around right now. We at a plaza, shopping plaza. Ain't nobody tripping off nothing. They ain't not worried about. They don't think harm. Like I say, what was it, Babylon? We said as a lady, we should never be touched or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They think they ain't gonna never get touched. We finna find out. We finna be in Jacob's trouble. We tell people this all the time, and what they say, not in our lifetime.
That ain't gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen.
Not in our generation.
All right, well, we finna find out.
You want me to continue reading it?
Yeah. Because like Russia just won today. This was early today. They warned Iran that the Israelis was about to strike them. Now, the reports are saying that the Israelis gonna strike a nuclear facility in Iran by the 6th of June. But Russia came out and said they're gonna do it by the 1st of June, which is tomorrow. Right? That's why we had them read. Go down. You go down to 7.
I'm on verse 5 right now.
Hey, you go down to 7. Go down to 7.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Go to 5.
Ezekiel 38:5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them will shield and helmet. And Persia is Iran, man.
Modern day Iran. Now, what I would
they were Persians before Iran.
What the listeners need to do. Type in the history of Iran, which is, like he just said, was formerly Persia, and look at what the CIA did to them in the 50s. Right? Because everybody been saying this. This brother, me, I'm pretty sure the other brothers in GMS, all of this shit that y'all the Americans have done worldwide to the other countries through their color revolutions, coups, the CIA, right? Them Israelis with Mossad. All the wickedness that they have done, trying to overthrow governments, set up puppet governments, killing people, and then saying, like the Israelis do, we had to blow the school up because there was some Hamas people in there. And they still ain't found no people from Hamas.
And then they call them the T word, man. I don't even want to say it. So they're going to get offended. But they call them that as if they're not the ones that are aggressors.
So you can kill, oppress, steal, rob, indiscriminately, and don't think nothing ever going to happen to you. So, but, just like he just said, you can't say nothing about them. Let any little thing happen to them. Let a fingernail get broke. Somebody got to pay. Yeah. But they can go and kill anybody they want to kill in the name of they fighting terrorists. But who the main terrorists? Who funded them terrorists to begin with? Who the greatest killers of all time?
Who got the most bodies?
Who got the most bodies? They put that on us though. They say the black man in America is a savage. The black man in America is worthless. The black man in America is a thug. The black man in America doesn't take care of his kids.
And even then, the YNs, who did they learn it from? They learned it from y'all.
They behave just like y'all. But they see them little movies.
Before, man, back in the days when we had our own communities and stuff like that, right? We look at like Rosebud or Tulsa or any black community, we weren't doing that type of stuff to ourselves. We weren't going around and deleting each other. That type of stuff wasn't in our community, man. Like it's history. We was thriving. The reason why they was destroying those towns is because we were doing better than they was after slavery.
Yeah, you do it. They started during the time of well, it started actually when Esau lost his birthright. The hating began.
Even before then, in
the womb, they was going.
They was
going
against nation.
Yep.
Romans 9.
It's a two different manner of people. Or in our womb.
One be stronger than the other.
One should be stronger than the other. Now Jacob was a man that they usually chilled at the house.
He was a simple man.
But your boy Esau was a cunning hunter of the field. He liked motherfucker a lot of people be under his control, right? He liked killing animals at will. Target practice.
And then on top of that, his blessing was the sword.
Yeah, his blessing is the sword. And just did a lesson. Today is what, Saturday? As we speak, they have delivered America, the American government, and the military-industrial complex, meaning the private companies that are American companies, have delivered over 90,000 tons of weapons to them Israelis since October the 7th. 90,000 tons. And then yet, you see how we standing side by side, right? They put him at the bad guy. He the one doing it. He the one doing it. He doing it. We trying to get peace. I'm trying to make peace. We trying to get a peace deal with Hamas while we still sending weapons to them Israelis to fuck them up. We want a peace deal with Iran. They can't have no nuclear weapons, right? But we're going to allow the Israelis to have them, who've been terrorizing the whole region.
They said
so that means the Israelis are a proxy for them Americans. That's what's coming out.
They said they want to end the war, but they're still funding it.
Yeah, they want to end the war, but yet and still, they still funding it. They got everybody in America thinking that Netanyahu and Trump are at odds with each other, but them motherfucking shipments still come in. They get a shipment a day of weapons, right?
All right, this is verse 6, Ezekiel 38:6, coming to the point. Gomer, and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. I'm gonna keep reading.
No, that's it. That's all we need from that. So you got Russia and the BRICS nations. They finna click up. And Russia gonna be a guard to them. Like he say, Putin said we're gonna mirror the actions of the Americans and the actions of NATO. We're gonna provide y'all enemies with weapons, right? And let's get a little more on that. Because also in the scriptures, the Russians, modern day Russians, in the scriptures are known as the Medes, right? The land that they was in was Gog and Magog, right? Isaiah 13:17, Babylon will fall to the Medes. If you don't know, Babylon the Great is America. The whole, same thing we just read in Ezekiel 38. He said, I will put hooks back into their jaws, right? Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. That's what them Americans cover. They greedy as fuck, man. Greed, they covered with greed. They just went over to see what DJ just did, went up to the Middle East and came back telling y'all, we got $1 trillion worth of investments from this nation, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Right? You ain't gonna better get them Russians no money. They owe y'all from when y'all fucked them up back in the day anyway. These nations ain't forget. Y'all been going around fucking up people forever. Y'all just thinking it was cool because y'all got away with it on us. Like I said, it was at the time, y'all thought I was all together with thee. Right? I think it's, yeah. I think I was all together like yourself because of what was going on with us. We was getting oppressed, tortured. The Lord turned his back on us, just like it's read in the book of Hosea. Read that in the book of Hosea. Right? These other nations, though, they ain't forget. You got to remember now, not only did you oppress us, but you got other nations you oppress. You oppressed the Moabites, the British did. The British oppressed the Moabites and the Elamites, right? That's 2 more nations coming at y'all ass. The Americans dropped the bomb on fucking Japan, on the Ammonites. You think they forgot? They gonna get y'all ass too.
I seen it.
Right? You say what it was reading the scripture, as thou have done, as they have done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yeah, return unto her double.
Yeah, return unto her double. So it seems like these Israelis and these Americans don't got no problems killing people, whether it be a baby, starving you out, cutting off your electricity. Same thing they did to us in 70 AD. That shit gonna come back on y'all head, as it is written in the scriptures. Let me see.
Let me get this real quick. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 14. I've heard a rumor from, let me get verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra, which is a city in ancient Egypt, or ancient Edom, Salakia, shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle, man. So all of these nations, man, all these countries are going to come against America because of all the things that they've done to her, or because all the things that she's done to them.
Yeah, with the Revelation 18, they say, I hate the whore.
Yeah. Let me get
the whore that sitteth upon many waters. This, to go back to what you say, I'm going to drop down to Isaiah 13 and 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he will destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So, you know the only ones that can sin is the Israelites. So we're going to start with us first. But then, Esau. Every time I think of these Edomites, when you look at them, I just can't wait. I can't wait for the Lord to open up that can and whoop ass on y'all, especially them Amalekites. Y'all been over there. Still, the record the numbers don't even match up, man. But the rest of the world, the rest of the world sitting around in silence. Only the Ansarallah, them Houthis, is the only one stepping up and going against them boys. The wicked, the sons of perdition, they being revealed. The Lord let you know how.
That's prophecy.
Yeah, the Lord is revealing how these nations are and how they roles are in the Bible.
Esau is there.
You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't say role, what their characteristics are of the Bible. So all you gotta do is read the scriptures and be like, damn, who behaved like this on earth? Huh? Who rebellious like the nation of Israel? Huh? Who treat good for bad and bad for good? Who will walk around with a free or fucking kill on your t-shirt as opposed to a man of righteousness, just like in the days of your house child Mashiach.
Or even
free Barabbas. They wear that t-shirt right now.
Or even promote judgment, or not promote judgment, but
they promote
glorify
it. They glorify it, corrupt us.
Rest in peace, so and so on a shirt. Man, I ain't never wore no t-shirt like that. That's the Lord's doing, man. What's the point of even doing something like that?
Correct.
It's all folly. Let me get this real quick. Revelation 17:16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which is talking about the EU, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's not just limited to the EU. You know what I'm saying? It's just including these other nations as well.
Everybody shoot their arrows over her. That's what's going to ultimately happen, right? In the midst of civil war, martial law, sedition among men. 2nd Ezra 15 is in full effect. 2nd Ezra 16 in full effect. In the midst of all that, because it's gonna be calamity after calamity after calamity, and then
we can't stress it enough.
On top of all that, when you look up, you're gonna see the biggest chariot you ever seen in your life cracking them clouds, and you're gonna see other angels in chariots shooting.
Y'all gonna be like, dang, Independence Day.
You heard me? Yeah. We're trying to pray for that.
Like Independence Day though.
That's the army of the Lord though. And you have to ask yourself, as an Israelite, they're the only ones who's gonna get salvation. So why wouldn't you want to be Israelite? Other nations desire to be like us.
Literally.
You see, one took our whole identity to be us. Because they know that the blessing, the ultimate blessing, the eternal blessing, is for the Israelites. But you don't want to be Israelite. You say you want to remain a Christian. I'm a remain a Christian. I love Jesus. Jesus loves everybody. So my white friend Billy here, who father and him got a history of killing niggas, they still gonna be in the kingdom with me. And we're gonna be friends then in the kingdom. Even though he was killing me, I forgive him. Like Jesus said, forgive. Y'all reading the scriptures wrong. You add to and take it from the scriptures. That's not what it said. The Lord put the other nations on top of us because of our disobedience. We broke the covenant. But at the same time, them nations didn't read the fine print. The Lord used them to punish us, but then he gonna punish them for punishing us. That's how the Lord get down. This is his movie. This his narrative, his creation, and it's gonna go how he say it.
Yeah, Howard Shaw, the main star, is about to go ahead and take his role in the movie, man. He's about to go ahead and come back, but he's not gonna come back and be oppressed, or I don't want to say oppressed, but he's not gonna come back.
Coming back in his glory.
Yeah, he's not coming back as
he's
a man.
He's actually not meet thee as a man, right?
They're not gonna be able to touch him. Literally.
Let me jump up to 11 on Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for all their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. We just was talking about DJ when we started this out. The Edomites, they full of pride, right? I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Let me get this over here, because through the Spirit. I'll jump down to 19. And Babylon, which is America, also known as Assyria, because I'm going to get that in the next chapter, right? And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, if you don't know what happened with that, they got hit with fire and brimstone. So I know you can't think of this right now. It's unimaginable to you.
I couldn't see this happening.
They're from the East Coast of America to the West Coast, North and South. This motherfucker finna get lit up.
Yeah, and those 5 cities that was in that,
It's gonna turn to a big ass desert.
those 5 cities that were in that back then, Sodom and Gomorrah, are here today.
Uninhabitable.
The five wicked cities, man.
Yeah. And they got proof of what happened to it too. But y'all don't want, y'all look, that don't concern Jake.
Unto us.
They don't, yeah, prophesy unto smoother. They'll rather watch a reality show or what's going on love and hip hop. Or like a dude just came in the gas the other day. The New York Knicks came back and won. We finna do it all. I'm looking at him like, nigga, you plan to change? What you worried about them for?
Them niggas paid.
Right? They got, if you trip off of it, Esau has created a category for everything for a person to do except worship the Lord. Right? They got a category for, if you like fishing, they got a whole TV channel for that. They got a whole stores, lures, everything. You like basketball, they got this for you. You like listening to a group of women talk in a panel, they got 4 or 5 TV shows for that shit. Right? They got traveling shows where niggas sit on stage and tell you how you supposed to be. Everything but repenting and returning to our power. Learning the true name of the Lord. So,
that's the best.
As Apostle DeHart say, just like the elder Apostle DeHart say, he don't even like talking with Christians. When you see somebody not through the sermon, you look at they dress, they style, they spirit. You figure it out real quick. Oh, that nigga's a reprobate. Or this brother's righteous.
He might, you know what I'm saying? His spirit might be able to receive it. Right?
Yeah, he might receive it. But most of these people that's walking on the earth, man, they playing their role in this movie. Just as, let me get it. This right here is a good example of how. Which one is it?
While he gets that, let me go ahead and get this. This is Revelation 19 and verse 1. It says the fourfold hallelujah. And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah. Salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our God. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which is Babylon, man, America, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. How did she corrupt the earth with the fornication, man? She let all these countries drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication, man, that golden cup. She spread those diseases around in these other nations. She spread her wickedness throughout the whole earth. Not just in this country, the whole earth, man.
Philosophy, they forced him on her, right?
And hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand, right? The elect, the servants are the elect, man. The 144,000 as well as the 1/3. Lord willing, we be that number, man. That 144. As it speaks of in the scriptures, man, these people are wearing out the saints. And Daniel, I believe that's Daniel chapter 7. They shall wear out the saints, man.
Hold on.
These conditions we in, the Lord literally have to send his son back to save us, because if he don't, then we will all die. You see, people are
no flesh left.
Exactly. You see, people are dying more and more. Esau Edom is literally killing the world, man. Literally, all the things that he does. It's forever chemicals in everything. Everything.
Let me just get this right quick, because everybody got a purpose. Everybody got their lot, like he told Daniel. At the end of Daniel, turn to your lot. You got to come back in the last days, right? So when we see the average person, whether they be an Edomite or a heathen or an Israelite, everybody here playing their role. So you can't never get amazed and be like, why this nigga wild out and start killing people? That's his role. Right? Let me get this.
39 and 28.
John the 9th chapter. I'm gonna go with the first verse. Healing the man born blind, right? People don't realize that's what this man's purpose was. He was born blind, but the purpose was for him to run into Yahushua at that particular time and be healed. Now, what happened between birth and the time he met Yahushua, that's our vanity. The only reason why his ass was born is for him to run into Yahushua at that particular time to be healed for this story, right? And as Yahushua passed by, I'm starting at 1, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents that he was born blind. So that right there let you know.
It was a curse.
As in Ecclesiastes, right? 3rd chapter. And I saw under the sun the place of judgment, right? So we born, we pass. All spirits return to the Father's spirits. Every time after that, you're going through judgment. I just read it right here. He said, and his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? Who broke the law? That's what sin is, breaking of the law, right? This man or his parents that he was born blind? Yahweh shall answer, neither have this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of the most high power should be made manifest in him, right? That's why he was born. You sitting there thinking like you got some kind of purpose in life. This blind, when he was born from birth, they was all like, don't worry about little Johnny, whatever his name was, I'm paraphrasing. You blind, but you gonna be all right throughout your life. You blessed. Yeah, right? That was his purpose. For him to bump into your house at that particular time, to be healed, to give glory to who? The Most High Power. The Almighty Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what it's all about, right? So you got some people born, like I say, with spirits created for vengeance. That was their purpose. That day that nigga clicked and killed 50 people. That was his purpose on earth.
Yeah.
Everything in between that time, that was nothing. But that day, when he clicked, that was his purpose on earth. Like judgment come, bang, 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 like you back up out of here.
He fulfilled his
Fear the Most High Power and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. Ecclesiastes. Right above what he just said. Ecclesiastes. I keep Salaki. Yes, right here. My speech ain't the best. My pronunciation of words ain't the best. Right? That was the point. So, what we got going on right now is turmoil in the Middle East.
Looking good, guys. Looking good.
You got turmoil in the Middle East, which is Western Asia. Right? You got Ansarallah, the Houthis. They telling the Israelis it's going to be a hot summer. They got a false ceasefire deal going, but yet them Israelis still bombing people. And now you got Trump. So this I just did a lesson called The Rules. They trying to make it seem like America and Israel, them Israelis ain't in line with each other. So when the drama pop, when they bomb Iran, they can say, we need to know nothing about it. But then when Iran retaliate, they can draw themselves into the war too. But Iran had already said, if y'all bomb us, we bombing all y'all military bases over here in this region. The Saudis said, hey man, don't do it. Just go ahead and sign a ceasefire deal. But why would you want to sign a deal with somebody when all they do is break treaties? That's the second Maccabees.
See, that's the thing, man. And it's funny how this works. America is mad at Russia because Russia is doing the things that America has been doing. And they don't like that. Russia is occupying Ukraine because if Russia really wanted to, they could have been destroyed all of Ukraine by now. They could have been did that. They just occupying the land, just as America does.
Nah, Salaki. What Russia doing is defending some people that were living in that land, right? The people in the Donbass region were mainly Russian. 2014, the American government, the CIA, under Obama's leadership, staged a coup. Put in Zelensky, who was an actor. This motherfucker used to be an actor on a TV show. The leader of Ukraine. Just like how y'all DJ, you was an actor in The Apprentice, right? So they Ronald Reagan was an actor. They start bombing the people in the Donbass region who were mainly Russian since 2014. So finally, Russia in 22 said, we got to give these people some help. Ain't nobody that's gonna do nothing. So that's how that conflict started, right? Russia don't take over people's land like how the Americans do. They don't occupy nobody's land. They just defending them folks. But now though, since they tried to since they tried to kill Putin last weekend, it's all gloves off.
Yeah, man. These things. What the fuck is that? I can't tell what that is. Some flying in the air.
Stupid ass. Chill out.
Yeah. So since since the Ukrainians was over there bombing the people in the Donbass region, they appealed to the Russians just like Crimea did, and they said, you know what, we don't want to be a part of that. We want to be Russian. The Ukrainians don't want that. The Americans don't want that either, because the Americans want the minerals that's over there, the resources. You see, they signed that deal.
Yeah, I'm about to say
they signed a deal with Ukraine, but if they still going to war with Russia, they can't get them resources. Right? It's all about, you get it right out the scriptures. It's all they do. Let's get it. Go back to the New Testament. The book of Micah. Is it in the book of Micah? Let me see. Nope. The book of Micah, the 2nd chapter. It's the title, Woe to the Oppressors. That's all they do. Oppress. Occupy. Now, Shalaki, I know we all over the place with this lie camp, but through the Spirit, just keep coming to me. Them Israelis openly saying now they finna have concentration camps. They got concentration camps for them boys in Palestine.
And they've been doing it.
Right? They've been doing it. They've been occupying them since 1948. So that's 77 years. 77 years they've been torturing people on earth, raping them, brutally torturing them. But yet, the rest of the world say they the children of God. But as soon as some niggas, some black men, so-called black men, Latinos and Native Americans get on the corner and say, you know what, we the children of the Most High Power. We the worst things on earth. But yet, we still ain't touched nobody. If somebody did die, it was a lone wolf that did it. This government, they whole government, just annexed 22 spots in the West Bank. And they ain't even supposed to be over there. They finna form concentration camps for the people of the Gaza Strip. They trying to displace 2 million people. And they so-called ish people, the small hatters, the 48 fakers. And yet, still nobody in the news, not one 2/3 wicked Israelite saying anything about that. Not one preacher. We the ones they trying to come up against. Every other day they got a new fucking lesson on, if you want to deal with the Hebrew Israelites, this is what you need to do. Why don't y'all apply that same shit to these damn Israelis that's over there killing people?
We the black man in America is the biggest threat.
Yeah, we the biggest threat, but yeah, we ain't touch nobody. Them boys, them 48 fakers, they touch everybody. Put bombs in pages, telephones and shit. They get to do anything they want to do. They had a day. They got a day in Old Jerusalem now. I just did a lesson on it. They got a day in Old Jerusalem where it's legal for them to go around and fuck up all the shops the Palestinians own. You can spit on them, kill them, go in their shops, destroy it, steal out the shops. They're not in trouble as other men. What is that? Psalms. Is it 17? Might be Psalm 17. They ain't in trouble as other men. Let's get Micah 2. Because that's all they want. 73, yeah. That's all the Israelis want to do. They want to expand the Greater Israel Project. They're telling them that. They moving people from the north of Gaza, the Gaza Strip, down to the south, into concentration camps. Right? In the West Bank, they done took over the settlements there and trying to claim spots through terrorism. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work in evil. So like it, Micah 2:1. Woe to oppressors. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields. Who go around coveting fields? The men of the Lord? We ain't. We just standing on the corners of highways and byways, letting y'all know of the upcoming judgment from the Lord. But meanwhile, you got America signing a mineral deal, rights deal with the Ukrainians. You got the Israelis trying to do the Israeli Greater Israeli Project. They expanded. They just bombed some people in Syria too. They bombed Lebanon too this week. They bombed the Houthis they bombed Ansarallah over in Yemen this week. And every day they kill motherfuckers in the Gaza Strip. So tell me again, in what way are they righteous?
Let me get this real quick. Concerning the wicked. This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, for the froward is abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just.
And the wicked of our nation chose the ways of who? What he just read. He said, choose not their ways. And what do? We do the same thing. And then we treat our people better than we do the other nations. That's how you know we the ones that fit the narrative of Jacob. And Esau, and these modern day white people fit the narrative of Esau. Because of their actions. They blessing is the sword. By thy sword shall y'all live. Revelation 6:4. And peace, they give they, boy, they took away peace from the earth. All they do is kill.
The mirth of the land is known. There ain't no joy, happiness. It's a Saturday, but look, this parking lot is completely empty. Ain't nobody shot.
90,000 tons of military weapons they provided to them Israelis since October the 23rd. So when Trump said he made $1 trillion deals with the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, you best believe over 80% of that is military. That's how they do, man. Makes it for everybody to kill each other so they can take over their land. Right? Here go the point right here. Let me just read too. And they covered fields, and they take them by violence. They did us like that, but the Lord allowed them to do it, right? And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. They have done these things already. So now let's see what the Lord gonna do for them. Verse 3, Micah 2:3. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you and lament with a doleful lamentation and say, we were utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he hath divided our fields. Right? He takes stuff. Like you started off with. They name places, lands after their own names. They end without it, they houses to carry on forever, roughly paraphrasing.
They split and divided the Lord's land.
Yeah. But right now, as we speak, the house of Satan is divided. They divided. Soon
It's all throughout this kingdom, man. Second, that's Daniel 2. Around the 40s, man. This is the divided kingdom, literally.
They got
all ways.
Yeah, they got Edomites telling on each other. Their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All the podcasts where we get most of our information from come from them. And they women be telling on each other.
They women be exposing them most of the times.
Yeah, these other nations, like I say, like I read the scriptures, they shall hate the whore. Pretty soon, Great Britain gonna turn on America, France, Spain, Germany.
One of them EU nations, remember when Trump was trying to get Greenland, said they was gonna help defend Greenland.
Denmark, because Denmark, I guess they say they occupy Greenland. That's one of their territories. You see how they get down? How is it that the countries that are ran by Edomites always got another country that they occupy? You don't never hear, they just name a random nation. The people of Niger. You don't never hear them say, we got a couple islands over on the western hemisphere that we own. We control them territories too. That's only coming from them Edomites.
Yeah.
Because why? They covered fields.
Esau occupied Guam.
Yeah.
What do they have to do anything with them?
They over there now trying to facilitate and dictate what's going on over in China, with China and them in the sea. That's what he mean when he say that they have drunk of the wine of their fornication. Y'all try to spread y'all a way of living on every nation.
Because y'all
and you see how this nation is turned out, right? They only show you with the prettiness of it. They don't show you the doom and gloom. In every major city, they got a downtown. You see the big buildings, be like, oh, this is real nice. New York is real nice. Go around the corner. Shit. Come to St. Louis.
You know what I mean? You go to our downtown.
Come to St. Louis and make a wrong turn, see what the fuck happened.
The only attraction really is Busch Stadium all around there. Other than that, you literally got skyscrapers that are abandoned.
Abandoned and cats waiting to get you. In every city. We like wild bulls on the corner, like it's written in the script. They like wild bulls. Now all of a sudden everybody on demon time doing donuts all in the streets, hitting each other. Twerking on cars, our women out of order, the little men out of order, demon time. Guess what, demon time people? Guess who you finna meet? The king of terrors.
The Lord of hosts.
Yeah, the king of terrors. Don't nothing go down without the most high power saying so. That's how cold he is. You ain't got nothing but a weapon. You either got a knife, you got a couple little pistols, you got something with some switches on it.
Yeah. What you think?
How you gonna fight against an angel? What happened when Balaam tried to put that curse on us and that donkey kept fucking up? He said, man, you don't see this big ass angel in front of me? Yeah. That's what we working with, the power, the most high power. So you got escalations going on. We're gonna see what the Iranians gonna do if the Israelis finally go ahead, because like it read, what is that? I will gather all people to the land of Jehoshaphat. Let me get this point out of Micah 2 and 3 for these Edomites. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, Micah 2 and 3, behold, against this family, who? The nation of Edom, Esau Edom, every Edomite on earth, not by looks, but through the spirit. Because as we know, we have been scattered amongst all the nations. And so it's Israelites that look like the other nations, and it's other nations that look like the Israelites.
Right, the wheat and
that's why they're gonna separate them. Correct. Through the spirit, the wheat and the tares. That's why that's got to happen. But for the Edomites though, I know y'all like saying or criticizing the Israelites for saying all white people gonna go to all white people. No, not all of them. Because not all of them are white. That's just appearance. We talking about through the spirit. Right? You can tell who Edomite is through the spirit. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, Micah 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Behold, against this famine do I devise an evil. Congratulations for what? What we had? Congratulations for something, bitch? I'm Salaki. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Right? Everybody that y'all lay y'all hands on, they gonna lay hands on y'all. Like he said. As it is written in the scriptures, not like he said, it's in the scriptures. Reward her double for what she have done. Give unto her double. So all the things, the atrocities you committed against the Israelites, since from when y'all first, whatever you want to call the forefather Esau was born, up until now, it's been stored up in the heavens. Right? The Lord gonna use us as a battle axe.
15.
Go ahead.
Obadiah 1 and 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. And it's a lot of things, it's a lot of other scriptures that cross-reference that as well. But you wanted me to get Joel.
Yeah.
I got it. Joel 3.
Oh yeah. You read Joel 3 and
2.
Yeah.
Joel 3 and verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh judges, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Like I said, I just said that. They parted the lands, man.
Ezekiel 30, was it Ezekiel 36?
36 and 5.
36 and 5, yeah. Hold on, though. So the escalation between Yemen and the Israelis, right? The Israelis bombed an airport, the Sana'a airport at Yemen, right? And the airplanes they killed was the last airplane that they had. That airplane was a medical airplane that they used to go back and forth to Jordan. So Ansarallah leader said, you know what, fuck it, man. It's gonna be a hot summer for you boys, for them Israelis. Ain't no airspace. They just put the issue out last night that they gonna start shooting at Israeli airplanes with civilians on them. So the war is escalating. So right now, they saying when Russia gave that warning to Iran that them Israelis, Netanyahu them was gonna hit them, that Netanyahu them was preparing all their major elite staff for bunkers. So just like we started this camp out with, what do you think the every everyday person, I ain't got no bunker to run into, right? When them arrows start coming over here, what American citizens gonna run to?
They gonna be in the streets.
They ain't even got no, what you say, what's the name of that thing, the Golden Dome? They ain't even got no Golden Dome. Where the fuck you gonna hide
That's
it?
supposed to be, according to Donald Trump, it's supposed to be built within the next 3 years. Who's to say we even gonna be here for 3 years?
Yeah, and then the one you did a lesson on the spot with the 21, they call 21 trillion. the little Bunker Hathaway spot that the government spent
Oh,
21
yeah.
trillion on.
Underneath city that they got, basically.
Guess who ain't invited? The regular citizens, the regular taxpayers, the ones who paid for it.
The ultra rich gonna be down there.
Yeah. So little Billy Bob, who work with you work next to you, that always be talking shit to you, he ain't invited either. He gonna
And even
pass
then, these
on this
Edomites are
side.
starting to build bunkers underneath their driveways.
It ain't gonna help.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Really, they got it. It's already in the scriptures. Everything that they trying to do is wrote in the scriptures. So they dig themselves into the holes and cliffs with a rock. The
Amos
Lord gonna
9.
get you. The Lord gonna find you wherever you at. Where you can be in the sea. Leviathan gonna get your ass.
Let these rocks fall upon us so we can be hid from the Lord's wrath.
And you know this how stupid Edomite is. You know that the Lord is coming through a different dimension. He already in the heavens, in the atmosphere. Why the fuck would you put your nest up there thinking you gonna go up there and chill? You know what? We're gonna blow the earth up, but we're gonna go into the space station. We're gonna be above the earth, running around. What do you think the angels gonna? You think they just can't pop up and knock y'all up out the sky? That's what's finna happen, right? So you got all these things going on. Ansarallah, they got Ansarallah, the Houthis, the people of Yemen. They say they ain't scared of shit. You know why? Because y'all already put hell on them. The Saudis and the Americans did. They killed at least 750,000 of them in the famine. Look it up. Under your boy, Obama. The one y'all called was the coolest president ever. He was cool. Nigga was a
I'm
killer
about
too.
to say he was
a killer too.
He was trying to deport immigrants as well, just like Donald Trump.
Hamite. But yet, our people embrace anybody other than the truth. They'll call out any name under the sun except Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. Why? I just gave y'all an example as to why. Exodus, they cut out.
You could even go to Zechariah 8 and verse 9, man. Only the elect are going to be calling upon those names, and those are only going to be the only ones that's going to be saved in that day. And the rest are going to be destroyed.
Yeah. So, like I said, they just tried to kill Putin, man. Putin say, hey, man, you know what? We just waiting. They waiting their time out. BRICS nation's pretty smart. They gonna continue to watch this economy collapse because, like you say, all the other NATO countries, they starting to fall too. So, same thing that America did to Russia back in the day economically, because Russia failed before you was even born, right? They built themselves back up. It's a slow kill for the Chinese, Moabites, and them Russians. They're allowing the American economy to further decline.
Yeah, America.
Before they start making their move.
America's been declining since about like the 50s or the 60s.
This is they went to space, lying.
It's just been accelerated since around like 2020. It started to move by real fast. So it seems like everything is just going down quicker and quicker, but it's actually been going down since like the 50s or the 60s.
Mm-hmm. And these Edomites got selective memory, just like how the 2/3 do. They forget shit quick. They forget shit quick, but the only thing they want you to remember is what happened during in World War II. Remember that now. Everything else, forget about. As you have done, it shall be done unto thee. That's why I got a smile on my face every day, man. I wake up and look at the Edomite, be like, yeah, I can't wait for the Lord to fuck you up. Yeah, you got something coming, especially them Amalekites, man. Like, what is that reading? I said I was gonna get it too. I'm gonna get Isaiah 14 right quick. You got to, you about ready to close out and we'll continue this.
Yeah, we can get off with this.
Let me go to Isaiah 14. That's Israel's taunt, right? And now if you read the beginning of it, you can say, I'm just gonna read this. Since people think it's what do they call it? Replacement theology. Isaiah 14, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That's the ones that were scattered abroad. They still Israelites. They just was in a Gentile state of mind, right?
Confused in the face.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna jump down to 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, DJ Trump, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. They ain't let up off of us, never. Just like how they doing right now, the Lord giving you an example of how these Edomites get down by letting you see how them Amalekites been getting down on them Ishmaelites and them Elamites. How the Israelis been doing the Palestinians, right? He on them with a continual stroke, right? He smote the people with it in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindering. Who the only ones that walk around on earth that you cannot persecute? I'll wait for y'all to get that answer. They pasty looking. They look fucked up. They some ugly people. You know who they are. I'm mocking them. I'm mocking them. The Amalekites.
That's all I always think to myself. I'll be like, after that 1,000 years, we ain't gonna never have to see nothing as ugly as an Edomite ever again on earth.
Yeah. Let me jump down to the main point. They go to the best point right here. Cause how y'all getting down? Like I've been telling you on all my lessons, I say this: ain't no sympathy gonna be given. I wish a person would, anybody on this motherfucking side of this of the hemisphere, say anything when them Amalekites start dropping. Cause they dropping them damn Palestinians like it ain't nothing. They say 1,200 of them got killed. 250 got held as hostages. But y'all done killed them 100,000 of them folks. Starving them out right now with diseases, famine.
They haven't received no type of aid.
Yo, no aid.
For months.
Here go the best point I'm gonna end on. This is what we all looking for. The elect of the house of Israel.
Curse.
Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. They're trying to put 15 million cities up everywhere, right? They want to control everybody with the new world order. The end without is their houses shall last forever. That shit is not gonna work, right? Right? For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. As he said, that's what's gonna happen. So, guess what, Esau? Our power got a surprise for y'all ass. And even though it's gonna happen, you're gonna start seeing your little white Edomite friends pass away. And you still gonna have Jake coming on TV, pray to the Lord for our country. Not reading the Bible. All the Christians, pray to the Lord for our land that we cover. We want peace. What your house I say? Think not that I've come to bring peace, to bring peace on earth, right?
I've come not to bring peace, but a sword.
You hear me? Thank you for correcting my slurred speech.
All right. So you got anything else?
That's it. Israel, hey, things are heating up on a daily basis. So Obadiah 1 is in effect, Habakkuk 2 in effect, 2nd Esdras 15, 16 in effect. Daniel 12.
Coming into effect. Matthew 24.
Jeremiah 49, 50, 51. The whole book.
Yeah.
The whole book, man.
It's coming alive.
All we got to do is read through the scriptures.
Yeah. Even 2nd Esdras 9 too.
Yeah.
Measuring the times diligently. This place is... The clock is ticking real
that grace period is steadily closing, man.
Yeah, Revelation 12:12, man. These devils are coming down because they know that they have a short time left.
So the room for repentance for us is running out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end with this, because of my brother, whom I love. I read this every day. I'm gonna end it on this. And this for us, of the house of Israel, the men. Ephesians 4:22. I'm gonna read it in NLT. Throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like the Most High Power, truly righteous and holy. And with that said, Israel, we one day closer to the kingdom.
So, with that being said, we're gonna close it off there. Turn to the east, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. That will bless and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again, who taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And as always, like the brother said, we one day close to the kingdom. And a Bible ball.
A Bible ball. Shalom.
Yeah, Shalom.